Does there need to be a winner and a loser in the current console space? And what would the reaction be if Xbox were to come out tomorrow and announce a Steam machine like Xbox with the same specs? So it's been a very fun week in the gaming world because we got some new hardware announcements from Valve. They announced their Steam machine, they announced their new Steam frame, but the thing that a lot of people are talking about more than anything is that Steam machine and how it's going to affect the current console space. You have the fact that people are saying that there's going to be some major winners and some major losers now because Valve is coming out with a brand new console with the power of Steam. As we know, it is the main place that people do play games on PC, although the majority of them are playing their games on a Windows device via Steam. But the question is PlayStation going to be a loser out of this? Is Xbox going to be a loser out of this? The initial reactions you do see online is that Xbox is dead. You haven't seen too much about PlayStation being dead, but you've definitely seen the PlayStation fanboys now trying to shift their console war over to the Steam machine because I'm sure they feel a little bit threatened here that the fact that PlayStation games will now be accessible on another console the second that this thing does launch within their own Steam operating system via Steam OS, which is a great operating system. You're going to be able to download, buy, and play tons of PlayStation games that they have released on PC. So, will there be major winners or losers now because of the Steam machine, or is this just adding competition to the landscape? I personally think there really isn't going to be a massive change here in the landscape of the console market. The PlayStation's still going to sell very well. The Switch is still going to sell very well. Xbox is still going to sell what they sell, and they're still going to put out their next generation console PC hybrid that is sounding like it's going to be expensive and appeal to the niche market that will want to go out there and pick that up. I don't think that the Steam machine is going to have a huge cut into that because if you are following these consoles at all, you're following the operating systems and access to games. If you like the idea of a console PC hybrid, the Xbox console, the next one, is by far the best one to get in the terms of access to a library of games because you're getting all of Steam. You're also having no issues with anti-cheat, with not being able to play games like Battlefield 6 or Call of Duty. All of that will be accessible. And we have heard that they are going to be giving you that console-like experience. So if you want to get your entire Xbox catalog, it will all be there. To me, that is the most appealing out of everything. Although the Steam machine is a close second, which I will probably end up picking up one of those as well. But does there need to be a winner and a loser? I don't think there really will be. I think Steam is going to be putting these out and they're going to sell in the same amount, close to the same amount as they do with the Steam Deck. This is more of a companion device than anything. And the reason I say that is just basically because of the technical specifications they are putting out on this device. This isn't going to blow anything away. It's coming in from what we are hearing slightly under the PlayStation 5 in terms of power and how games are going to run. It's not going to be a 4K 60 machine unless of course you're using upscaling and FSR, but it definitely won't be natively. We do have Major Nelson, who did weigh in on this situation. A lot of people have weighed in on this situation. And he says this: it's been an interesting 24 hours in gaming as I read the previews and debate about the new Steam hardware. Remember, not everything needs a winner and a loser. Choice is always good. Game where, how, and when you like, where you find your fun is all that matters. And I agree with him completely. I know that's all just like ooey gooey peace, love, and harmony and everything that everyone gets on, like positivity peddlers, all this garbage, just because you're not angry about everything that's happening within the gaming industry. But he is completely correct. Right now, in gaming, we have more choice than ever before. And we're not seeing anybody really bow out of the industry amongst the major companies. Yes, you're seeing pivots. Yes, Xbox absolutely has pivoted in their strategy and how they deliver their games, but they're not leaving the industry. They're just opening up and giving more choice. PlayStation, they're pivoting as well. They're opening up and giving us more choice. Nintendo, they're pivoting as well in the sense that they have moved further away from anything physical and wanting to lock people into a digital catalog on the Nintendo Switch, which makes it much harder for them to ever want to venture off to a different ecosystem. Will they eventually expand out and put their games on PC potentially? Hard to tell. It'll be sometime way further in the future because they aren't hit with the same issues that PlayStation and Xbox have been hit with, which is the crazy, insane, over inflated development costs, trying to push technology to bleeding edge stuff where you're getting the best graphics and all that. They're sticking with their older, lower end graphics, I guess, if that's how you want to explain it, or they're more kid-like graphics, but still phenomenal gameplay. And they're able to deliver great games at a lower cost, and they sell like crazy and have a great attachment rate on the Nintendo Switch. So comparing exclusives, it can't be one to one when you're looking at Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. They're completely different on many different levels in terms of their consumer base, the range, the broad range of consumers that Nintendo attracts more so than Xbox and PlayStation, from many different ages, from old people to very young people. It's not the same on PlayStation or on Xbox. But the Steam machine coming in here, this is going to be mainly focused towards PC gamers who want to have something under their TV where it's a secondary device. I don't think the Steam machine is primarily focused on being a primary console device for console gamers. You can just tell by what they are internally putting inside of it. If they really wanted to just make this a standalone device, they probably would have made it more powerful, and they would have given it more VRAM, all of these things that people have complained about, where you don't really need a high-end PC if you want to play certain games, if you want to get the best fidelity out of games. PC gamers are known to like to push that stuff, to tinker and to continuously upgrade their systems to get better results. So I don't think the Steam machine in any way is a major competitor here directly against Xbox or directly against PlayStation. But what it does have as an advantage, specifically over PlayStation more than anything, is the ability to play all the catalogs, because you are getting PlayStation games within there. The other thing that I find is an interesting question, because I put out a tweet last week that actually went pretty viral. See a lot of people agreeing with me, and I think this is absolutely true. There could be multiple different reasons why this would happen, but if Xbox were to come out today or tomorrow or whatever and announce a machine with the power of the Steam machine, there would not be nearly as much praise and excitement around this thing. It would be shot on nonstop, similar to what we did see with the Xbox Series S. Even to today, the Xbox Series S still gets shit on all of the time, and I think unfairly so. I have an Xbox Series S. I use it all the time. I use it almost on a weekly to sometimes daily basis, whether I'm sitting on my TV that has it and I don't feel like going down and playing on my Xbox Series X or on my PC. I play everything on it. And the games look and run completely fine, especially for the price point that I bought it at, which was the day one release of that console, which is cheaper than it is now. And then whenever anything comes out about the Xbox Series S, there is an insane media negative cycle around the console, when in reality, the console runs basically every game this generation. You can basically access and play everything. There have been some issues where games have been delayed and they had to get optimized better because of the Series S. But besides that, games have released on it. You can play them. The Series S to me has been a success, contrary to what is the popular clickbait opinion on the Xbox Series S, that it is a terrible console. It's held back gaming and everything. So I think if Xbox were to come out tomorrow and announce a Steam machine with the same stuff that is inside of it, we would see nonstop discussions and articles that they're holding back gaming once again, releasing an underpowered device that is going to hold back what games could truly be going forward and all of this stuff. I did put out this tweet here and it went viral. And my stuff usually does not go viral, but this has 130,000 views, 1.2K likes. And it says, if Xbox announced a machine today with the power of the Steam machine, everyone would just be shitting on it like they did with the Xbox Series S. And there are lots of different talking points here and lots of things that I actually agree with, also things I don't agree with. Some of the things that people are saying here is that the reason this would happen is simply because Xbox has a bad reputation comparatively to Valve. Valve basically has a spotless reputation. Everybody loves Valve and praises Valve. And I would say, yeah, that's probably part of it, that the actual brand image that Xbox has hurts by doing some of the things that they have done themselves, but also because of a lot of fake outrage and clickbait and all of the stuff that comes along with hating on Xbox. You can just see it in the numbers. People could deny this all they want, but they know they're getting significantly more traffic and views whenever they're hating on the Xbox brand, whether it is warranted or not. that is one of the reasons I think why people would absolutely be shitting on it. You have some more points here, some good ones. I mean, some of them I actually agree with. This person says, yes, definitely. And you would be right there doing the same if it was PlayStation, no doubt, which probably not, to be completely honest. She says, so would I, but that's because Sony and Microsoft currently have machines out that surpass these specs. So them releasing this now would be ridiculous. Steam is looking to break into the market. And why I say probably not is because if PlayStation or Xbox were to release a console with the same power of the Steam machine, it would be them starting off with a lower priced entry into the market and trying to be able to get away from the increasingly rising prices that we are going to continue to see. So I would say from that perspective, that actually isn't totally a bad thing. If the games are playing properly on it, then it's a console for the people that just want a plug and play machine that's going to give you access to their games. Says here, most of the games I get on Steam that I want to play in my living room are not going to be affected by the specs, and I can stream from my PC to the machine. So as long as it's cheap, I'm good. If it is expensive, I'll skip it. And that you could say the same thing for the Series S. Like tons of the games you want to play on the Series S, you can play. And if you don't care about playing the highest AAA games at the highest quality and everything, it doesn't really matter. This person says nobody shot harder on the Xbox Series S than Xbox fanboys. Normal people loved it because it's an awesome console for the price, and the same thing will happen with the Steam console if the price is right. Now, I don't know if it's the Xbox fanboys that shot on it. I didn't track that, but normal people did love the Series S, and normal people like myself are going to love the Steam console if the price is good. He's completely correct. If the price is right and that thing can play your games, people are going to love that device. It's going to do well for the ones that do purchase it. They say this person says not everyone, just this app, which doesn't really matter that much since anyone could say anything with no consequence here. Kind of true. Yeah, it could just be the app. It's always hard to see how much Twitter translates into the actual real life. Like if you went out to public where somebody doesn't follow gaming on Twitter and they have a Series S, I would bet they love their Xbox Series S. This person says, if Xbox introduced family sharing and free online gameplay, that they win over the naysayers. I believe free online gameplay is coming. I don't know if family sharing is in the cards right now. I wish it was because that was a rumor that it was. This person says, these fanboys are slow. The Steam looks like a nice device, but it's not going to hit the mainstream taking orders from Steam. It will remain as niche as the Steam Deck unless you see the device at Walmart, Target, Costco, Best Buy, etc. Steam isn't competing with PlayStation or Xbox consoles, and I 100% agree. Unless they're pushing this out to retailers, which there's no indication that Valve will do that or that they even care to do that, because you have to think about it like this. There's a lot of cost that goes in to pushing these things out to retailers. They don't just knock on the door and send them, and there's nothing logistics or cost that goes into that. Valve is it's different. Like they probably have a certain amount that they need to sell, which is a lower number, and they're making their money no problem. And they can do that easily from selling it straight from Steam. So why even go out to the retailers? I don't think the goal of Valve is to make the Steam machine a mainstream console that takes on PlayStation or takes on the Xbox. I could be wrong. Maybe they end up selling at retailers, but I would be shocked. I think they don't have investors where they have to continuously see the line come up. Valve is a private company. They're going to do things in a way that works best for them. And that is just going to be selling the amount that they need to sell to have a good profit margin. And I don't think it's a massive number, simply like it was with the Steam Deck. So I don't really see it going out to retailer stores. This person says, I just said that. Big Plume, it's about who has the better Series S now. Hypocrites, all of them. I mean, it goes on and on. There are some takes that I agree with, some takes I disagree with, but the reality is we know it doesn't even matter what Xbox is going to announce. There's going to be instant people shitting on it regardless, especially if they do come out with a lower power device. I think the next PC console hybrid, you're going to have Xbox releasing the high powered one, and then you're going to have more Series S, like not like current power Series S, but Series S for the generation released by OEMs. And that those will be far better sellers overall, especially if you're getting your entire console library, the console experience, and you're getting Steam and all of the other PC launchers on there. So it's been an interesting week. We will see how this does track, but the Steam machine has brought up a lot of conversation. I don't think there needs to be a major winner or a loser out of this. I think at the end of the day, it just means as consumers, which is always better, we have more choice in where and how we do want to play our games. And that's what happens here when We have a company that tries to jump into the console market. We may even see other companies try to get in. Maybe Apple with their next Apple TV or something try to release a console as Mac is slowly growing and putting more games on their store. So very interesting. This has been a huge shift generation in consoles, and we're starting to see now play out as we move forward for the next gen. But let me know what you think about all of this stuff. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.